housewife life for his woman. Can't be authentic.
There's a study that says when a man gets married to a woman, his life is longer.
I can be authentic.
Welcome to Date, Affirm,
That is a
The
red
Real,
flag for me.
our live podcast talking about today's relationships and its effects on us all.
Got something to say about it?
Please welcome our hosts, Keya McClain, the poet, and Shimeka, the dog therapist. Let's get real.
Woo! What's up, y'all? What's up? We back on another Tuesday. I'm Keya McClain, the poet, and
Wait, you're on the wrong side. I'm Shimeka, the dog therapist.
why do I always do that?
We're on the wrong side.
Why do I always do that?
I don't know, cousin. We're on the wrong side, though.
I don't know either.
You're on the wrong side.
I don't know either.
There you go.
I do it every time, y'all. What's up? Welcome to Date Affirm, The Real. I think we are so excited about this evening. We have a guest. We have a special guest. And I am excited to introduce her in the room, y'all. Listen,
Yay.
this woman is truly, truly gifted and knowledgeable about her craft. She is a menopause transformation specialist. Have y'all ever heard of that? It's all fancy and stuff.
Yes.
It's all fancy. And let me tell y'all something. Before I bring her on here, I'm going to let her give a more descriptive bio and whatever it is that she wants to share with us. But, you know, I've had the honor of getting to know her over the last couple of months. She is a dynamic sister. Like I said, she is truly gifted in her knowledge about menopause. I talked to her at the end of June, and I got off the phone with tears in my eyes because of the knowledge that she gave me. And I've made some dramatic changes since that conversation. So let's welcome in our guest for this evening. Bring Shulanda in, baby.
Hello. There she is.
Hey.
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you guys for the invite.
Yes, thank you for making time. Thank you for making time.
For you, absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it. Where's the QR code, babe? While he's working on that, I'm going to have you go ahead and give an intro. You can share with the audience whatever you feel comfortable sharing, and then we'll get right into the conversation.
Okay, great. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Shulanda Barnett. I am a menopause health and fitness coach specialist. I have been in the health and wellness industry for over 15 years. Started out as a wonderful Zumba instructor. From Zumba instructor, I started my own business, Busy Growing Fit, which led to just helping women just develop a healthier lifestyle. From there, I transitioned into, let me back up for a second. I'm also a kinesiology professor where I teach health and wellness as well. And then transitioning into my line of menopause specialist, when I became perimenopause, I just did not know what to do, where to go, because simply I didn't have anyone to talk to because that belly fat was just there, just chilling with me. And I didn't realize what was going on with my body. And so I went into the process of doing more research for myself and also to provide an overview for my ladies that will be going through, have gone through, will go through menopause. And I just want to be that go-to person that whatever you're going through, trust and believe. I've been there, done that, still doing that. And that's why I'm here as a menopause specialist.
Yeah.
Yes, that is dynamic. We are so excited to have you here. In fact, I remember after I spoke with you, I called my bestie and I called my cousin and I was telling them, like, I just had this conversation and da, da, da. And, I called a few other ladies, and what was so interesting was that everyone had the same kind of response. Like, what? Is that what it is? I've been dealing with that too. It's just about starting those conversations, because nobody taught us those questions. I mean, nobody had those conversations with us, right? So our very first question to the audience is going to be, who taught you about menopause? Did anybody talk to you about menopause? You can put that in the comments as we continue the discussion, but it's really interesting because the word menopause was never even mentioned in my very close circle. And then when I would hear things, menopause wasn't the word, hot flashes was the word. So I didn't correlate hot flashes and menopause, because all I had ever heard was menopause.
Or hot flashes.
Or hot flashes.
I mean, hot flashes, yeah.
And it's so funny that you say that, because I'm gonna tell you, because I was a bougie menopause person, right? Because when my older friends would talk about menopause, I was like, that's not gonna be me. I work out, I eat pretty good, I'm this health person. Oh, it's gonna just pass me right on by. So when I would see them sweating, I'm like giving them the look like, ew, what we doing? Little did I know, God was like, boo, your time is coming. Just give it a moment.
Hold on.
Give it a moment. So exactly. Just seeing the sweats and stuff. And I mean, like sweating, like shirt just drenched. Yeah. And I'm just like, and it just didn't faze me, because again, I wasn't in that lane. But I just tell women all the time, you're gonna get there one day. And every woman, and before we even start, I'm just gonna say every woman goes through their phase, their journey differently. So it just really depends on the individual. But yes, God gave me that awakening and said, you know what, Shulanda, it's coming.
Yeah. And so now this is a perfect segue for you to just tell us what menopause is.
Okay. So menopause is a natural chapter in every woman's life. So this is like the end of our reproductive system, right? So there's 3 different phases. So the first phase is perimenopause. So when we talk about perimenopause, and I will say this, it can be as early as 35. You can start at 35 years old. Okay. I'm already talking to my daughter. My daughter is 27, about to be 28. And I constantly tell her about menopause, what to look for, what she needs to be doing right now. Okay. This is not a old woman's disease or anything like that. It is a female transition, right? And so perimenopause is when you start getting those early symptoms as far as hot flashes, brain fog, your sleepless nights, it may be joint issues, so vaginal dryness. So those are the little things that starts to happen when you start to kind of like notice your body saying, well, something is not right, right? So you start saying something is not right. But a lot of times what we do, and I'm going to go to each one of them, but I just want to let people understand when this is the crucial stage, because you're telling your brain is telling you that something is going on. And typically what we do is we just press through, because that's what we've been taught to do, right? And so, but we're having all these different issues that's starting to happen, but we really don't know what's going on. So that's the earlier stage of menopause. When you go into menopause is one day. That is when, after 12 months of consistent, where you do no longer have a cycle, that 12th month, one day, that's when you're in menopause. Right? That's when you're in menopause. After that day, you're in postmenopause. So and you're in postmenopause for the rest of your life. Okay. It doesn't go away. And for some people, when they're in postmenopause, I hear them say, oh, I had that 12 years ago. At the time, no one was talking about it, but I don't have those symptoms. But it's so much more entailed when it comes to postmenopause that we don't even talk about or discuss And hopefully we'll get to some of that tonight.
So I'm in post-menopause.
You're in post, if you haven't had a cycle 12 months consecutively, you consider in postmenopause.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. So that I didn't know that part. So that I learned something new. See, I be learning stuff when I talk to her. Now you see why I'm sharing her with y'all.
Right. And I think I'm in perimenopause.
Perimenopause. And this is what I tell, because I don't want people to guess based on their symptoms. What needs to happen is you need to find a doctor that specializes, not the doctor that you had since 1923 that you grew up with, and they don't know nothing about what's going on with your body. Because typically what they will do is, if they're not familiar with it, they will be like, oh, you just probably your body just going through changes. Some people kind of like brush it off, or they misdiagnose. You need to go to someone that specializes in menopause. And you have every right to ask those questions for us. Well, how long you been knowing about menopause? What's your education behind, menopause, perimenopause?
Mm-hmm.
My body's going through this change or whatever, or do you recommend somebody?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was one of the things, that was one of the challenges I had when I was going through perimenopause, because I didn't have that doctor that knew at the time what my body was going through. I was just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And I do want to share my experience, because I had a pretty in-depth conversation with Shulanda at the end of June, in which she told me that I needed to get a menopause doctor. Now, what did I say before? I completely have just been winging it. I had no clue about this. There were no conversations about it. But I will tell you this. I didn't know menopause doctors existed. I went to searching. I went to doing some research after my conversation with her. Pretty quickly, within 24 hours, I found a menopause doctor. I scheduled an appointment with that menopause doctor. Unfortunately, that specific office, I didn't like the way that they handled they were going to cancel an appointment, and they did it at the very last minute. So I completely X'd them out, found a different doctor, because I had already created a list when I did my research. So I just went to the next person on the list, quickly got an appointment. And the great thing about the menopause doctor was I was able to quickly get in and get a virtual appointment.
Nice.
We had an in-depth, we went through all of my medical history. It was like an hour and a half virtual call. At the end of that phone call, she didn't diagnose me. She sent prescriptions because she said, I already know where you are based on nothing has been done for you. Absolutely nothing has been done for you. Your doctor did not educate you properly. She says, as a doctor, I apologize that they did not take care of you, that they did not, do what was needed to educate you properly so that you can take care of yourself and feel good, because I was thinking I was going crazy, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so she did send in some prescriptions for me. I have an estradiol, or I don't know how you say it, estradiol patch. I have progesterone that I take every night. So the sweats are not, I haven't had sweats in a couple of weeks. I've been on this medication for 4 weeks. And I have noticed some difference. Now, she told me I would notice a difference in a couple of days. I think that's hard to say when different bodies respond to different things, but I can say in the last 4 weeks, I've noticed a difference. So I wanted to shout you out for giving me that information, because I moved pretty quickly on, trying to resolve these issues, because I had almost all the issues: brain fog, the sweats, the belly fat, like all the things. I had it. And so I have seen the difference, especially with the belly fat. I've noticed the difference with that bloating.
Yes.
So that's been extremely, extremely helpful.
Wait, I have a question. So, okay. So this is what I thought, right? Because I was like, after peri, then you get, and then the 1 day menopause, then post-menopause, you good. No sweats. What? For what? Why are we still sweating?
No, it's not done. It's not done. So just think about this. So we've had estrogen all our whole life, right? It's a hormone, right? I did not know the value of estrogen in the component of what it does for our bodies. So estrogen affects your heart. It affects every organ in your internal body. Okay. And so for me, okay, so I'm gonna take me for an example. So when I went through perimenopause, so my background is I never had high blood pressure, never had cholesterol issues, never was pre-diabetic, none of those things. When I went to get tested, this was before I even knew anything about perimenopause. I just knew something was going on with my body. When I got my results back, my A1C was 6.2, 6.3. That's pre-diabetic. I had, yes, pre-diabetic. I had high blood pressure. My LDL, my HDL was high. I found in when I kept going, found out that I have osteoporosis. Because they were started taking tests. So all this stuff.
Oh, from the lack of estrogen.
Body, right? And so moving forward, I still to this day am struggling with my A1C. Okay. I've been in post menopause for probably about 2 years now. I still struggle with my A1C. My blood pressure just started coming down. All of this affects your body, your estrogen. All of this affects. We're not gonna start talking about the fibroids and the thyroids and all those great things. Oh yes, it's a whole.
So it affects your thyroid?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. When I tell
Wow.
you, just like you, Keya, when you say you went to the doctor, and when I tell you the doctor that I went to, she was really, really good because I did a urine analysis. She did a urine analysis. She was the one that told me to go get a bone density. I didn't think anything of it because I lift weights, I do yoga, all these things. And I'm like, okay, going to get my bone density, and just all these things. And when I got those results back, I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
And that's coming from, listen, y'all,
Wow.
listeners, listen to this. This is coming
Wow.
from somebody that is a true gym person. Like, she
Wow.
works out, she eats good, she does all the things, right? And so for her to go through that, what you think you gonna go through if you're not doing all the things?
And I will say this. Let me just say this because everybody's body is different.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people will not go to the extreme of hot flashes. Some people, everybody's body is different. So your journey is your journey. This is my journey. Okay. Why? It can be my DNA. It can be because I'm telling you, I went to my mama. Mama, why did you tell me about menopause?
Yeah.
Why you didn't give me a hands up?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then that's another conversation that was started to have because then she started telling me about her going through menopause and her hysterectomy and stuff like that. Stuff we usually don't talk about.
Yep.
Wow.
The
Yep.
conversation,
Mm-hmm.
because as we grew up, you really don't talk about those things. You don't talk about cycles and stuff and
Mm-hmm.
those things. So now we're forced to talk about because we're at that age. Things are going on with our bodies, and I want to be healthy.
Yeah.
I want to be my healthiest self. And I think, Keya, when I told you, I think I gave you this analogy. I want you to look at your great aunt, your grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
your mother, look at their health. If they're not active, exercising, that's going to be you.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be you, with the bone issues, with the joint issues, with the heart issues, all the things. That's
Mm-hmm.
you if you don't take control of what is going on with your body today.
Yep.
You cannot continue to just press through and thinking that it's just going to automatically go away. It's not. It's not. God has
Yeah.
given us
Wow.
the opportunity to say, you know what? I allowed you guys to do what you wanted to do in your younger years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you are getting older, I need for you to put you first.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's really
That's
putting
right.
you first in your health first.
Yeah.
It's putting you first.
Yeah.
For some people, it's very hard for some people to do that because they don't know how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Because I think it goes back to like historically what has happened in our community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's funny because the very first time I met Shulanda, y'all, I was telling the ladies about some health things I had going on, right? She started fussing at me like, that's what I liked about her because she do like me. I would do the same thing, right? She got on my head. You need to do this, and you need to stop eating this crap, and you need to do this. I mean, she got on my head, and literally, I would tell her after the fact, I heard your voice in my head. I would get ready to do something and I would hear your voice in my head. Then I started going to the gym and I'm like, I hear Shalonda's voice in my head, like, get on up and go to that gym. And then she was like, and cardio fine, but you better pick up them weights. I could just hear her voice in my head. And I think that's another thing that we have to start doing is holding each other accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because that's a form of care.
Yeah.
And instead of the silence that we're used to, having somebody, some of us like that soft, sweet, and that's what they need. I don't need that. I need you to get on my head, jump on top of my head, get your shit together, kid. That's what I need. I need the hardcore stuff. I
Yeah.
don't need that soft stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can appreciate that. And I think however you get it delivered to you, just listen.
Yeah.
Because what she said is so true. We have to take care of our bodies. We have less time in front of us than we did behind us. That time is gone. A lot of us are over 50 or touching 50. So, we got less time in front of us and we want to, when she used the analogy of look at your great aunt, your mom, your grandmother, when I look at the women in my family, the healthy choices were not made. In fact, when I tell my mom, like, I don't want to eat that, don't cook that, don't bring that over here, she gets offended.
That's how we were raised. That's how we were raised. But it's okay. You have me now.
She
We
be
gonna work it out.
she be on my head, y'all. But that's what I need. What question did you have, cousin, for Shulanda?
You said that what?
What question did you have for Shulanda?
So how does menopause affect a woman's emotional well-being or self-esteem or identity?
Ooh. I can go so many ways with this, but the best way is to people to understand what I went through. I think that when you are used to being a certain way, thinking a certain way, and then when all of that changes all of a sudden, first it's like someone strips your control away from you. And you don't know how to identify with that. And so I remember because I became perimenopause through COVID. And I just remember that I felt so alone. I didn't know who to talk to. And I'm talking about like, just the average of I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And I just remember it was so many days that I stayed in my bed. And me being married, I remember Gary would look around that corner. If I had good times on, that means you better walk the other way because I was just in my zone. Don't bother me. Don't mess with me. Don't ask me nothing. I just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
My little go-to, good times in the Jeffersons, okay? In my bed. And it was just so many times where I was just trying so hard to figure it out. Like, what is going on with my body? Why is my stomach? Why am I gaining weight? Why I can't remember? Why I feel And let me tell you about emotions. So I'm a person like, I all that crying and stuff. I'm like, that's not me. I'm pushing through. Girl, I didn't cry so many times. Gary can say boo wrong. I'm just thinking it's the end of the world. And again, it goes back to what is going on with my body? Why am I feeling like this? So menopause affects so many components of your well-being. I don't even know if it's about that village at the time for me, because it wasn't a village.
Mm-hmm.
So Oprah and Halle Berry started talking about it a couple of years ago. There was no village.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone is talking about it.
Yeah.
But we're still silent because you still have people that are just talking about the things that you see as far as with the fan. You see people with the fan and stuff. That's a conversation, but what's going on internally?
Yeah.
So with the emotion, it's like, I remember started writing, and I'm not a journaling person, but I just started writing down, my thoughts and everything. And I just kept hearing God tell me, Shulanda, you're going to be a testimony to somebody. And that's kind of like what got me through. You're going to be and I just had to pray, like for real, because my mental state was just, when I tell you, I had two therapists, one on speed dial, doing COVID. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Doing COVID, baby, it was on. Can we talk? Do you have any room today? Can we talk? Yeah. So the mental aspect of it is so serious, and you're not going crazy.
And so I don't know if we talked about this, Shulanda, but back in the day, they would put women in these, crazy places and say, "Oh, the woman's gone crazy," and a lot of that was probably tied to menopause, but we weren't talking about it, and people weren't aware of it. They were calling women witches and crazy, and just lock them up and put them in the white suits.
Yeah.
Because it does. I've had moments where I felt straight rage.
Yeah.
I'm talking about wanting to really hurt somebody.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was outside of, it felt like it was outside of my control. So I would just be like, let me just stay away. Because if I go out, I ain't no telling what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because my emotions were so strong. I could feel every single emotion. And so I feel like that's a lot more regulated now. It was just out of control before. And then the brain fog, everybody knew me as remembering every single detail about every single thing. And I was just like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I have no clue. And you know how people blame everything on something?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be like, well, I guess it's this, because I didn't really have the knowledge. And I feel like get the knowledge so you can find the remedy.
Yes.
And so that's what it was about. Once I got the knowledge about it, okay, let me work quickly to get the remedy, because there's no need in me continuing to suffer and struggle. So, I mean, I would recommend to you ladies to, get you a menopause doctor. Shulanda is also a coach. She can work with you one-on-one. And so I definitely want to let you all know that there's a way to connect with her and work with her if you feel like you need a little bit of extra care. Because I know I would not have been able to, I could have done the research myself, yes, but there was a lot of things I could not maneuver through because your mind is so scattered, right?
Absolutely.
And to be honest with you all, Black women are used to pushing through. We're used. So there was no desire for me to do research on anything. I just felt like, girl, you just got to push through. This is what life looks like.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And it's unfortunate that I struggled so long. I struggled a long time.
Yeah.
Without knowing that I could get help for that. And if there's other women that are just struggling in silence, Like, this is what Date Affirm the Real is for. Like, to bring people that are knowledge based in specific topics that can help us all to become healthier, to become better, to be more positive, to have, you know, more positive relationships and connections with people. Because my next question, Shulanda, is about how it can potentially affect your spouse.
Hmm.
Mm. Well, we got about,
Look,
we got about
share
2
what
more
you want.
hours.
Share what you want.
She said, well.
Look, I said, well, you know, let me just say this. I apologize to my husband because, you know, at the time, now, you know, when you know better, you do better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, when I was going through perimenopause, it was during COVID. So I think I had a little bit of that with perimenopause not
Mm-hmm.
going, and then you're isolated in the house, and it was a lot going on at that time for me. And I just remember that was a very, very difficult time for us, you know, because Gary didn't know, he didn't know what to do,
Mm.
he didn't know what to think, you know, when he just didn't post that. He just didn't know, you know, he just didn't know. And so, you know, for men, and you know, hopefully one day he'll get on your podcast and tell his side. But I remember he was talking to, because now he's my advocate, you know, because he's like, you know, he had to do his own research.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll tell when he told another couple this, because we were all talking about menopause and everything, he was like, I had to do my own research because I knew my wife was struggling, but I didn't know to what extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though that they will never understand what we go through, they can still have a sense of what we're going through.
Yeah.
You can somehow be empathetic to,
Mm-hmm.
man, I can't pinpoint it. I don't know if the devil done got a hold of her. I don't know what it is, but one thing he gonna do is pray for his wife. So he definitely did a lot of praying. I did a lot of praying, because when I tell you, we had some arguments about the ceiling fan and the AC, like for real. Yeah, we thought we thought we weren't gonna make it. We weren't gonna make it. Because you know it is what it is. If I
Yeah.
want it on 50 degrees and I want the ceiling fan high, and then I have a standing fan right there too, and you got the
They
roll
froze that man out.
He like,
just cold. But he alive. He all right.
But then he died though.
right.
You know, did he die? So it was plenty of those conversations. Like, dude, I'm like, I just need for you to get on board. It is what it is, and I ain't giving up nothing, right? So yeah, it's something that you know what it is, and it really tests your marriage. It really tests, because I've heard some stories where people have gotten divorced, where the man cannot deal with the newness of this woman. They don't know how to deal with it. Just alone, if we don't know how to deal with it, just imagine we're trying to get our spouse to understand what we're going through when we don't understand it. So I just really thank God for the community that we were in, because we were a part of a small group with our church, and couples ministries and stuff like that to help us through. But you're gonna have to have some conversations, and you have to sit down and really you would only imagine what couples do not talk about. And I think a lot of times us as women, we just don't talk about it, because we just automatically assume that they will never understand to no degree what we're going through.
Right.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, they probably can, but we still have to have those conversations.
Yeah, that's true. That's good there.
Right.
I think, for the women that are on that have spouses or significant others, that's something to consider. Having those honest, transparent conversations with your mate or spouse, because they don't know, they are clueless, and you may know a little, but you can share that little that you at least know. Don't leave
Right.
them in the dark. And
Right.
I think that's the thing, like don't leave them in the dark, because then they're wondering, well, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. I don't know how to take this. I don't know if she's angry with me. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Communicate with that person. That's
Yeah.
good.
And one thing I learned later on, and I still struggle because I don't like apologizing, but I do feel that when you're wrong, like if you just go off and you just having that moment, it is really up to us to go back and revisit that situation and say, look, I was having
Hmm.
a moment, and blah blah blah, whatever, instead of just skating on or whatever.
Yeah.
It was plenty of times where I'm like, but you learn,
Yeah.
you just learn, like I say,
Yeah.
I didn't have that support system when I talked about menopause or learned anything about menopause.
Hmm.
I just, learn as you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the fact that you went and sought the information yourself, and then became a coach to help other women, I think is admirable, because, in a world of gatekeeping, where people are like, well,
Hmm.
I know what to do.
Hmm.
If ain't nobody else know what to do, oh well. Like a lot of people think that way. And so the fact that you did the research and you got the knowledge, and you're sharing that knowledge,
Yeah.
I got another question, but Shimeka, go ahead and ask your next question.
Okay, the one I want to know, so because you mentioned, cousin, you mentioned like the estradiol and stuff like that. Are there
Mhm.
natural things that people can take, or is it a diet change that somebody needs to do to have better symptoms, not be so intense, or?
Again, I'm gonna say this because so if you don't remember anything else, everybody's body is different.
Mhm.
And for me, I've always been a person that prefer natural. Things change.
I'm
So
with you, Shalonda.
let me tell you something. Some things just be like, okay, I do want this, but you know what? My
Hmm.
estrogen is like, because when I tell you my estrogen was like this much,
Mm.
and my doctor was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna have to do something different because you don't have no estrogen whatsoever.
Mm.
And I tried the patches, I tried hormonal replacement therapy, which that's what I'm on right now. I do the topical cream.
Mhm.
And so when I first started, people again doing my research, hey, try the black cohosh. That's natural.
I did, yeah.
It's now because so many people are jumping on the bandwagon. Now you have so many people that say that things are out there that is natural, which I will tell people, be careful when stuff is posted on TikTok and
Mhm.
Amazon and all. Please do your research, because remember, a lot of this stuff is just coming out
Mhm.
and they're telling you that it's natural, some things that your body cannot take. Okay. And so the natural part of it, I definitely understand. If that works for you and your body, great. Okay. Didn't work for me. Okay. So for me, I had to do the hormone replacement therapy. Okay.
Mhm.
When it comes to your diet plays a major role in the the embracement of menopause,
Mhm.
meaning that what you used to eat probably is not good for your body anymore.
Mhm.
Three things that we need to include in our diet as women, midlife women: protein, fats, carbs. Okay. Protein is foremost the most thing that we have to consume a lot of protein daily. Okay. You have your fats. And then you have your complex carbs, not simple carbs. Simple carbs is your processed foods and all that stuff. We're talking about complex carbs. We're talking about quinoa. We're talking about the different types of beans and stuff like that. We're talking about healthy foods. Okay. Those things you need to start incorporating. When I talk to some clients, it's amazing how when I have them to do a food journal, they have no vegetables, very little protein in their diet. They may have meat, but they're not getting a lot of protein. Our bones are deteriorating as we are getting older. They're getting fragile. That's why it is very important that we do strength training. People are intimidated by weight. Women are intimidated by, especially if they've never done it before. So that's why their go-to is cardio. I used to be the cardio queen. You can't tell me nothing because I did dance fitness, treadmill, anything cardio, high impact, high intensity. That was me. Then I said, and I knew as I got older, I was saying, no, I need to start lifting more weights. And so that's what I did. And so when I tell my clients, I need for you to start lifting weights. And I'm not talking about no 3 and 5 pound weights. And so for some people, we don't know how to do that. So that's where I come in and say, okay, well, you can be taught. We're going to start with our body weight and we're going to progress. I meet people where they are. If you've never lifted weights before, I got you. If you can't do a push-up on the floor, we're going to do a push-up on the wall.
Okay.
I got a modification for everything. If you just had a hip replacement and you can't stand up for a long time, we're going to get a chair. We're going to sit that chair down and we're going to work it out that way. Till you progress.
Now, do you help people on Zoom, like virtually?
Depending on what coaching package they get. Yeah, I show them. Yeah, where, like I say, I meet people where they are.
Okay.
And so again, you have some people that, Shulanda, I don't know how to lift. I don't know how to do a bicep curl. I got you. When I go to the gym, I just go to the treadmill because all the people be over there lifting weights. So I don't know what to do. I got you.
Yeah, because it's intimidating if you don't know what you're doing.
Right. Yeah, it's very intimidating, and I get it.
And
you don't even have to go to the gym. You can do it in the comfort of your own home. But you have to start somewhere. Otherwise, as you get older, that first drop where you fall in that hip, you no more good after that hip.
But that's good. That segue into what I'm dealing with right now. And so my bone density test is at the end of the week because I had to reschedule it. And I got my blood work and my urine yesterday. So my doctor will give me the results of that at some point this week. I'm sure to be in my portal. But I was rear-ended last year and I re-injured myself by doing just like I kind of like fell back a little bit like this. I bumped into something and Marcus caught me. When he caught me fast to pull me back up. And it re-injured my lower back. So I've been doing physical therapy at home, through this tablet, through an app that we have. And it's been helping, but it's like I'm having to go back through physical therapy again because my strength is not the same. My bones are not the same. It's going to be really interesting to find out what my bone density test reveals. Because I can even tell like the soreness of my bones and the achiness and all of that. I can tell I'm going to have to do some restoration work.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We just gonna wait until we get the results because it really depends. Because when I told you that when I did my bone density 2 years ago, I had osteoporosis. And then moving forward, I just got my results back probably about 3 weeks ago. Now I'm at the stage of osteopenia, which my numbers have improved. My goal is to reverse osteoporosis. It's to reverse it. So I'm doing everything from strength training. I do Pilates. I do yoga. I'm getting ready to teach yoga in my school in the next month or whatever. So that's gonna help or whatever. I do all the things that's necessary to build my bones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so nothing is final. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I want to tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Final. So
Yes.
if you take ownership of whatever it is those test results give you,
Mm-hmm.
once I ask those questions and do my research, I was like, okay, let me work on that.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I work on that.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I'm excited about, finding out what it is so I can do the work to, correct whatever's going on. Because I definitely can tell something is going on.
Something is going on. Yeah.
Yeah, these bones didn't used to feel like this.
Look, for all of us.
Look, I started taking. I started drinking okra water.
Oh, you got on a bandwagon, girl. How's
I
it going
did.
for you?
I just started 2 days.
Okay. You
Just
have
2 days.
you have to give us an update on it with that okra water.
It's
Yeah,
It's the
I saw that online.
it don't taste.
I
but
said, I
heard
ain't drinking no okra waters.
It's mm,
Yeah.
it's not. There's no flavor. It's just
Okay.
it's the texture
Oh, okay.
because it's slimy.
Ooh.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
keep us posted on that.
You
Mm-mm.
know what I did find that
That's
worked
all
for-
yours.
But you know what I did find that worked for vaginal dryness though.
Oh,
Slippery elm.
what is it?
Slippery elm.
Oh, I never heard of that.
That right there.
It works.
What? Okay, is that a pill or a?
Look, let me go get.
Go
Let me
get
go.
it. She said, "Let me go get it."
Show us what that is, cousin. Show us what that
She
is.
said, "Let me go get it."
But you had mentioned the black cohosh before. I had tried that too, and
Mhm.
it worked. Then it didn't seem like it worked again.
Yeah. It
Yes.
didn't work for me.
Oh, let me see. Can I do it? Slip.
Oh no, it's
How's like I'm invisible? How's it going to?
Oh, okay. I see. It's like a liquid drops.
It's liquid. Yes, drops, but you can also get the pill form.
Okay.
Can you? That's so interesting. Little.
Is it natural?
Yes. Yes. It's a herb.
It's a herb. Oh, okay.
It's an herb, and it's the extract right here. Look at it. Put on my glasses, baby. Let me. 83 drops, and I put in a little water right here. Just a little thing of water. Baby.
And it works.
Oh, yeah, it does. Actually, I noticed a difference. I noticed it also, but now because it also coats the stomach, so you cannot take it with if you're taking medication. So if you take medication in the morning, so I'll take this at night before I go to bed. It also helps with heartburn because it coats.
With that being said, I just want to tell you guys and the ladies, when it comes to taking supplements, herbs, again, do your research because everything don't mesh together.
Everything, yep.
And one of the things when you go to I have 13 supplements that I take. And I have them, they list every single, when I go to the doctor, are you still, and I have it in my phone, you still taking this, you still taking this, you still taking, yes, okay, I'm not taking that anymore because they want to know, and it's also for me, what I'm taking, because if any interaction or any thing that's happening with my body that is not acting right, they can go back and look at those supplements that I'm taking to say, you know what, you may need to stop taking this.
Yeah.
So just make sure whatever it is that you're taking, you're telling your doctor that you're taking, even if it's topical, whatever it is, let them know what you're taking.
Yes.
Yeah. I know one of the things when I was telling my doctor what I was taking, she was like, okay, maybe take this at night. Don't take it in the morning, do this, kind of switch it. She was like, I don't see any issues with the supplement you're taking, but you may want to take certain things at different times of the day. So that's a good point. Because I am more of a natural person. I want to start natural, and if that doesn't work, then I have to move on to something else. But my start is always natural. But
Yeah.
when it came to menopause, I was like, look here, help a sister now. I'm talking about the alarm was ringing loud.
And you know what? And it's kind of it's unfortunate to a degree because sometimes we get desperate. And I remember I was at that desperate state because I didn't want to look like this. I didn't want my body to look like this. I didn't want to feel like this. I didn't want to think like this. Just what we doing? And so I remember this is still doing COVID. Like the second year, I was like, I found this lady to do body sculpting where they be like rubbing the belly to get.
Uh-huh.
When I tell you I was trying everything, I got me a personal trainer. I was just because I did, and I think at the time I was very prideful because I felt like because I have a history of kinesiology, health and wellness, I was gonna figure it out. And it was like, no, Shulanda, sweetie, this is not about you. It's about you, but it's not about you. And you have to humble yourself and say that you can't figure this out. And so I was to have these go-to. So for a lot of women that's going through perimenopause, postmenopause, they're desperate. And so, and I'm saying this because everybody's jumped on the bandwagon and they have all these supplements, they have all these quote unquote natural things. We're just buying it because we want our old self back. The first thing I tell somebody, we're gonna have to learn to embrace the newness of our bodies. We can't go back.
Yeah, that's good.
Time is not gonna allow us to go back and get the old Shulanda.
Fix your face, cousin.
First of all, I had a 27-inch waist before this.
I'm sorry, it's gone. It's gone.
Even after my kids, both of them.
Yeah, I understand.
I was like, it's to come back.
It's not. Now it can come back through some strenuous other stuff. Now you can get anything
I
back.
didn't have to do none of that. I just used to go to sleep and then wake up and I still had that body.
Yeah,
I didn't have to do nothing.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
It's over, cousin. It's over.
I'm so mad. It's like for real.
It's over.
It's just like now.
But let me just say this. What you said is so true. I just recognized that recently I was having like silent desperation. I wasn't talking to anybody about it, but in my head, I was thinking like, I could do this. I could do that, right? And then what's so funny is I said it jokingly to Marcus last night, and I was like, yeah, my breasts just, I need to do something about these things here. Stuff I would never eat. That ain't even me, right? I don't even think like that. But it does cause you to kind of go places that you would not typically. I ain't letting nobody cut on me, right? But in my head, I'm thinking, I'll feel better if I had that look again.
Yeah.
And so then I thought, this is what some women be going through that go and do this stuff. Like it's a mind game of, can I go back there?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can, but the work that is required to go back there, are you willing to do that?
Yeah.
So no, that's good. That's a good point that you brought up. That wasn't even a question, but I'm glad that you said that.
Real, because seriously, people used to be like, "Oh, do you run track?" No, I just woke up like this, literally. Like I don't know, and I'm hyper as hell, so I just be moving around, just seriously, and I just was like this, and I woke up, and then one day I was like, I tell myself I have reverse body dysmorphia. I think I'm skinny sometimes in my head. Until the one time I would, because I do flips. I'd be like, I'm gonna do a flip and I'm gonna do a somersault. In my head, it looked like a gymnast somersault. Okay, in my head, I had perfect form. When I saw the video, I was like, who? And why did nobody tell me that I was that big? Why did nobody tell me? And then you recorded it like I told my cousin, like, because my other cousin, because she be clowning. She said, I'm gonna record it. Go ahead. And then I looked, I was like, oh my God, that's me. I thought my legs were straight. I thought I had perfect form. I thought it was
Yeah,
It's a real thing, going from
it is.
here to there. Really accepting that and embracing that.
embracing that.
I've
Mhm.
never had that issue before. And so now it's like when I look at myself on the picture, I'm like, girl, get used to it. This what you look like, at least for right now. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? This what you look like right now. Be okay with that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Love this woman.
yeah, yeah,
And so I have to do a lot of self-talk, which
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
anyway. So that already kind of helps me because
Yeah.
I already do that. But
Yeah.
imagine not doing that and
Mhm.
then just waking up and now you're dealing with menopause and your body's changing and you're like, now what can I do?
yeah. And some people actually just get stuck. And for some reason, we look back thinking that if I was this size, or I just
Mm-hmm.
this right here, then I will feel better. But let's go back and look back when you were that
I
size.
thought I was big.
I mean, it's like it's always something, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just tell people, if you embrace where the season that you're in right now, and then we're gonna work on ourselves from the inside out,
Mhm.
not
Yep.
from the outside in.
Mhm.
Yep.
Still taking blood pressure pills and everything else, but you still cute. I need for us to work from the inside out. That's
Mm-hmm.
this too, mind shift.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like you love yourself even more.
Yeah.
Because I just truly believe God had a reason why He gave us menopause. That He couldn't give it to the men. Gave us menopause and say, you know what? With this season in your life, this is how I want your season to look like. Not your past, because that's your past. We didn't have to answer to folks when we was going to Chick-fil-A every day, turning up on the weekend, going to brunch every week. It's a different season that our bodies need to be in. I'm sorry. Look, she's looking like, yeah.
Her sad.
I know. But you know what? That's still, we still have fun. We can still have
Yeah.
fun. But I just want people to realize, going to Chick-fil-A with your grandbaby every single morning before you drop off at school, that's not gonna get it no more.
Yeah.
Your body can't handle that no more. We need some more greens.
Yeah.
We need some calcium, other minerals in our body, so we're able to function properly. So when we get into our 70s, 80s, we're not looking for somebody to help us or bathe us because we can't move around.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it right there. That's
That's
it
the
right
big one.
there.
That's the
it.
big one.
I'm focusing on my body for my 90-year-old body, right? I'm
And
doing
the
this
other thing that you
for my
said,
90-year-old.
Shulanda, this kind of ties back into what I said earlier about historically with our family dynamics and stuff. Where you said you taking your grandbaby to Chick-fil-A every morning. Well, we get an opportunity to shift that. We
Yeah,
get an opportunity to teach the young people something different than what we were taught. I
Mhm.
mean, because every part of the pig was on our table.
Mhm.
Every greasy, fatty, sugary thing that you can eat was on our table. And so, and that's why people are struggling right now because it becomes an addiction.
yeah,
Yes.
You become addicted to the sugar, you become addicted to the fat, you become addicted to all of those things. And then you're struggling to detach from that type of eating and do
Mhm.
something different.
Mhm.
And I remember a girlfriend of mine telling me in my 30s, like, she was vegan in her 20s. And she was telling me, she was like, Keya, you might have to switch up your diet. You might have to do something different. She says, I exercise, but I do light exercise. And her body is toned. I mean, her body is beautiful. And she's like, it's just what I put in my body.
yeah,
Mhm.
It's what I put in my body. And she's like, everybody, of course, body is different. You might have to work out and eat this, but she don't work out like that. But her body
Mhm.
is nice. And you would think that she works out. But she said it's just based on the food that I put in my body. I'm very, very careful about the types of food, what I drink, all of those things. I'm careful about what I put in my body. I wanted Shulanda to have an opportunity to tell us about her 5K walk that's coming up in October for those that are in the Dallas area. We have her QR code up in the corner, and I want her to share some information about that 5K walk. So if you are in Dallas, or if you can get to Dallas to attend the walk, come on down with us. I'll be walking.
Yes.
I gotta go, guys.
Okay, I know you got a client.
Okay.
Okay.
I love you guys. And
Love you.
thank you so much for
You're
everything.
so
Oh my
welcome.
gosh, thank you so much.
You're
So
so
I
welcome.
will be I need your email address so I can see what packages you got. So
Okay.
all right. I appreciate
Right.
it. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
You're so
Okay. Love you,
welcome.
cousin.
Cheetos.
So I'm super excited about the Hot Flash 5K walk run. And you can do it in person or you can do it virtually. Okay. So virtually, so if you in Houston or you in Chicago, you can get your girls together and you can still do the hot flash. You'll still get a medal and you still get a shirt. Okay. So again, no excuses. And I'm excited about it because this is the first Hot Flash Menopause walk run. It says 5K. So 5K means 3.1 miles. Okay. So if you're a person that I'm really not a walker, whatever, think of it as this. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be all about fellowshipping with other like-minded women. And it's gonna be where you could just be around everybody that's kind of like in the same journey that you're going through, right? And so, and I just really want to make this a global thing. So if you're any way possible can make this, and if you're doing it virtually, you can do it any day. Okay, you can do it any day. Again, you'll still get the shirt, you'll still get the medal. But if you're in the DFW area, definitely go ahead and scan that QR code, sign up if you want to get a group going. Then you create your group and just tell your girlfriends or whatever. Guys can come too. Your support system. It just I want everybody to come out there and enjoy themselves on October the 18th. That is on a Saturday at 8 a.m.
And you can join my group, y'all. I'll tell y'all my group name if y'all want to join me. But yes, I have a group as well. It's going to be a good time. I am excited about it. And I think like Shulanda said, being in a space where other people are on the same or similar journey as you, I think really I feel like when I talk to different people and different people have different experiences, I learn different things. Although my experience might be different, it still gives me an understanding and a empathy and compassion for somebody else that may be struggling with something different than me. And
Absolutely.
so, and then who's to say what might not show up for me, or if I wasn't paying attention to it and was like, oh, that is happening to me. And, what have you done? So I think it's really interesting. It's been eye opening for me personally. I have been talking more about it. And I think that talking about it thing is a big component because we've been silent for so long about this.
So long. Yep. Absolutely.
And I'm just trying to be part of the conversation. And I'm not an expert in any of this, but I do try to share information, and refer people your way if they need a little bit more deeper coaching and understanding. And tell them, go find your menopause doctor. Because what I discovered was my OB was not telling, my OB never mentioned any of these things to me. And I'm thinking, oh, my OB would surely tell me this. That would seem like common sense for me. But OB never mentioned it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never. And I was totally shocked by that. Like, that really was shocking for me. But I also recognize that we get a little bit of a different care when we go to the doctor. Because I've talked to other people that don't look like us, and they knew a lot. They knew a lot.
That's why for me, that's why I take it so personally, because it does something to my spirit when I talk to, they want to talk about it, but they don't want to put the action in place to help themselves to get through what now has been addressed as far as perimenopause, postmenopause. It's like, oh, I'm dealing with it, blah blah blah. No, I need for you. Let's talk about it, because again, we're getting older.
Mm-hmm.
God gives us one body. That's it. We don't get to borrow nothing else from nobody else. That He's given us one body to take care of their body while we're here on earth. And so a lot of people, they kind of like, yeah, I get it. As long as I have my fan, as long as it's more than the fan. It is so much more than the fan.
So are you saying that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but are you saying that when you talk to women that they are dismissive about it?
Some of them, yeah. Or they don't want to put in, so because if someone is talking to me, I'm like, I'm full, and I try not to give them too much, because some people get overwhelmed because it's not the norm for them, right? But when I say, you know what, I can help you, because you can go to the doctor, but if you're still not doing what you're supposed to do once you leave the doctor's office, it's obsolete. So I'm here as your accountability coach and say, okay, you know what? So you've seen the doctor. Okay, so you've got your lab results. Okay, so you know what? Let's put a plan together. Okay, let's do this. Let's do, and I meet you where you are, and I take you step by step. But I think a lot of times people don't want to give up their lifestyle. They don't want to give up the life. They don't want to give up the brunches. They don't want to get. And I'm realistic. I'm like, you don't have to give up the brunches, but we do need to start implementing some different things in our life that we have never implemented before.
Yeah.
Unless you continue to be diabetic and stay on high blood pressure pills.
I know what you're saying, though, and I just thought about this, and my cousin is gone now, but she's a therapist. I'm a coach, you're a coach, and we can all kind of relate to that, because when you're talking to people in a space of growth and evolving, people are not always comfortable with that. People are comfortable where they are, and you just have to let them be. But a lot of times people are very comfortable sitting in the space that they're in, and you can't get anybody to change until they're ready to actually change. So yeah, that makes sense. I was confused about that at first, and I thought about it like, yeah, that makes sense. I've had people that said, I'm tired of this, but they're not tired enough to do anything different. Yeah. So you're right. They don't want to invest in a coach. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. Yet they tired. So yeah, you're right.
They want to pick your brain, be like, now what do I need to? No, I say, because it's just a whole nother different. I have to I just can't just say things, because I do need your health history. I do need to know what direction you go in, what you're doing, what's your goals. So it's unfortunate, but I do believe that women will start to embrace the season that they're in, and realize that their health should be a number one priority. And I'm talking about when it comes to what you do, what your cousin does, what I do, and people start to invest, because us as a community, we always get left behind when something is at the forefront, and then it'll be years later. Then all of a sudden we're trying to play catch up. No, we're in the forefront now. So I need for you to stay ahead of the game, and let's work through this.
That's good. That is so good.
Thank you.
Listen, y'all. We went a little over, and I didn't even turn my hourglass because I knew he was going to go over tonight. It was totally worth going over tonight, because the wealth of knowledge and information that Shulanda has shared with us this evening, I hope you guys took notes. For those that come back and watch the replay, as always, hit us with #replay. And if you have questions for Shulanda, I'm sure she'll be checking the comments, and she can respond to you, or you can reach out to her. How can people get in contact with you, Shulanda?
So a couple of things. My website, ShulandaBarnett.com. It should be live now. Shulanda, ShulandaBarnett.com. You can also hit me up on Facebook, join my Facebook group, Menopause Talk, Fitness, Mindful Eating, and Wellness. Instagram, Shulanda Barnett. And one more thing, I am doing a 5-day challenge for people. It's going to be it's a stubborn belly fat challenge. It's a 5-day challenge that we meet every single day for 5 days, one-on-one. If you're interested, just go ahead and leave it in the comments or hit me up, and I'll give you more details about that.
Well, y'all was listening good because y'all didn't have many comments. I saw Shawnee had a few comments. Misi, I know Misi was here. MK was here. We had quite a few people in here on the Instagram side. So thank you all for showing up this evening. I hope that this was so helpful to you all, especially the men. You know, you got a little insight too for what you may not have known. And for those that are, like I said again, those that come back and watch the replay, make sure you hit us with #replay. This will be available on all podcast platforms. And of course, it will be on YouTube. So thank you all for showing up and attending this evening. As always, we love y'all.
Love
Until
you.
next time, we'll see y'all. Date Affirm the Real. That's
Woo-hoo!
Shulanda Barnett.
Yay.
Boom.